I believe the vast majority of Agile coaches and Scrum Masters can't fully do their role, and you might be one of them. Let's take a simple example. You just got hired as a Scrum Master. Congratulations. You got the impression during the interview that the company really took agility and Scrum seriously, that they were somewhat mature. But on your first day of the job, you're shocked. First, you realize that you're reporting to a manager that doesn't know anything about agility or Scrum. And second, you get a list of activities to perform, activities that are expected from you as a Scrum Master. Organizing, steer goals, facilitating all the Scrum events, including meetings, sending meeting invites, ensuring that everyone attends, taking minutes in meetings, every single week, every single Friday, reporting the status of the projects to managers, stakeholders, sponsors, resolving all impediments, ensuring that the developers are working, are not lazy, working efficiently, and meeting timelines. There's a lot more of these impediments, but you get the point. You are expected as a Scrum Master from your manager, you are expected to do all these kinds of anti-agile, non-agile activities. What do you do as a Scrum Master? The typical advice here is to go talk to the people in charge. Maybe there's a lot of Scrum Masters, Agile coaches in the organization. Everyone can have a discussion, find common ground, regroup, and talk to the people in charge, these managers in charge, to inform them that we will no longer do these anti-patterns because these things are making us non-agile and in the long run will make us even more ineffective. That's the typical answer. But if you're watching this video, you must probably have already done that and failed, or your colleagues, Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, have most probably tried doing that and failed. So what do you do as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach who's currently working in an environment where they are not safe or where they have no decision-making power and are demanded to do non-Agile activities on a daily basis? Things that you know are wrong. First, there's a high chance that you have other colleagues doing the same role as you, Scrum Master or Agile coach or even team coach role. The first thing to do is to really group up, create a support group and start sharing your experiences, tips, strategies, ways of thinking, the mindset, and find common ground. If you are the only one out of all the Scrum Masters and Agile coaches who believe that things are not going well, but we should stop doing these anti-patterns, I'm sure that you will be safer talking to your colleagues, team coaches, Scrum Masters, Agile coaches compared to these managers. The key here is to find common ground. Everyone needs to really be convinced, everyone doing the same job, convinced that something is wrong, and then we can move towards finding a solution to fix the problem. Second, once you have your support group and you found common ground, there's a problem, we need to fix it, you go direct approach. And if you can't do the direct approach, you can't talk to your manager, you can't give his feedback to your leaders, you go the indirect approach. The teams, you start working with the teams. Retrospectives, sprint retrospectives or other retrospectives that you do with the team. Ask the team. Start exposing these problems to the team. Don't tell them what to do, just expose these problems to the teams and get their opinion on these anti-patterns. Obviously, explain these problems in a way that they clearly understand that these issues, these anti-patterns are affecting the team, the effectiveness of the team. What does the team think about a single person, the Scrum Master, a single person being allowed to manage Jira, move tasks across the board, update the statuses of tasks, add comments to tasks, flag tasks, user stories? Does it make sense? What happens if the Scrum Master is no longer here, already went home, went on leave, is sick? Nothing is updated on Jira. Does it make sense? Does that look effective to you? And if all the Scrum Masters do the same thing, Agile coaches do the same thing with the teams, with support, you start getting supportive data. Then you can use this data to talk to the managers. But more on this later. Third, gather even more supporting data. Remember, at some point, we'll need to confront, talk with these managers. So we need supportive data. So document everything you can find. All the impacts, outcomes, problems that doing these anti-patterns are causing. Even things that are not requested from you to do, but from the team. A clear example, I'm sure in your organization, you do planning, right? You need to do budgeting. In many companies, big companies, they do yearly planning, quarterly planning. Does this make sense in an agile environment to ask someone to do a high-level estimation because we don't know what we'll build in 1 year? So obviously it will be high level. You do a high-level estimation and then managers, stakeholders take this high-level estimation as commitment and tell the team that we need to meet this deadline. Does this make sense? Does that sound agile to you? Obviously not. And if you look at the data, I'm 100% sure if you look at the data, the vast majority of these commitments, of these projects, we are never on time. Always delayed, obviously, because we committed on a high-level estimation. So why are we planning in the first place? Your goal here is to document, gather these failures, all the times that we needed to cut corners, maybe increased technical debt, the quality of a feature was reduced. We couldn't test it enough, which caused bugs. Or maybe we reduced the scope, releasing something where the customer was not better off, simply to meet this unrealistic deadline. Document all these instances and ask the question, what are we trying to achieve here? Are we trying to delight the customer or releasing stuff only for the sake of releasing? Number 4, influence. It's time to influence. You have all the data. You talked with your colleagues, team coaches, agile coaches, team coaches. You found common ground. You agreed on your way forward. Now it's time to talk with the leaders. Show all the data, all the entire patterns, what the entire patterns are causing for the company, that we are ineffective and that there's a better way of working. I wouldn't present that alone. Present as a team of Scrum Masters or Agile coaches. As a team, you are more powerful and your data most probably comes from different teams. Now, very important, you're not telling them to permanently change because people don't like change. No. You're just telling them to experiment with a new way of working that will remove the entire pattern, and this new way of working, this experiment will bring X amount of results, increased by X% something measurable, and you'll run the experiment for 1 sprint, 2 sprints, maybe 3 months with 1 team, multiple teams, and we'll see if indeed removing these entire patterns results in a more successful and more effective team. Now, put yourself in the shoes of these leaders, these managers. All the Scrum Masters, Agile coaches came prepared with data showing that the situation is not good. A process, a team, the company is not being efficient. The company is not being effective. And these Scrum Masters and Agile coaches want to experiment with a new way of working. What can go wrong? Not much. It looks like they know what they're doing. They came prepared with all the data. I will be more likely to agree on running the experiment as a leader compared to what people typically do. A Scrum Master just comes and talks to the manager and tells them, okay, this is an entire pattern, we should stop doing it. No, you came prepared. For me, that's still these 4 steps, the best strategy. If you're currently in a position where you can't talk, you're not safe enough, you can't speak up as a Scrum Master, and you're being asked to do things that are not part of your role, clearly non-agile, or the teams are doing things that are non-agile, clear entire patterns. Use these 4 steps. This will greatly increase your chance of success. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.